Hi everybody, this is Mr. Beckstrom, and today we're going to take a look at section 4-1, and this is on reading and constructing graphs. So in this case, taking a look at a bar graph here, and the question says, the following bar graph shows the annual U.S. sales of hybrid vehicles from 2006 to 2014, and study the graph and answer the questions below. So notice that they put the years, and they'll usually do that. If one of our variables is time, that will often go on the horizontal axis, the left and right one. And then here is the annual sales in the United States. So this is how many hybrids were sold during that year. So let's go ahead and see if we can answer some questions and read these graphs. So the first one says, during which year did the largest increase in hybrid sales occur? So basically we're looking from one year to the next, where the next is much larger than the first one. So I would say pretty easily we can see that from 2011 to 2012, this is the largest increase, right? From one year to the next going up. So 2012 would be my answer for this first question. Now the second one says, during which year did the largest decrease in hybrid sales occur? So let's take a look at some of the decreasing years. It looks like we go from 2007 to 2008. So 2008 is a pretty big one. And then from 2008 to 2009, that looks roughly the same. And then we have a decrease over here from 2013 to 2014. So I think if you said either 2009 or 2014, both of those would be pretty good answers there. We're just looking for the largest decrease from one year to the next. I think the book has 2009, but I think that this is larger than this difference here. All right, next one says approximately how many hybrids were sold in 2008. So to do that, we go to 2008. We go up to the top and we go over, and it looks like somewhere around 330,000. It looks just below, well, it looks like right in the middle between 300,000 and 350,000. So I would actually say like 320,000 for that one. How many more hybrid vehicles were sold in 2007 than in 2006? So in 2007, we had about 350,000. In 2006, we had about 250,000. So it's about 100,000 more sold in 2007 than 2006. The next one says, by what percent did sales increase from 2011 to 2013, round to the nearest 100%? So for this one, I'm going to use my formula that I have from one of the earlier sections here. And this is the amount of decrease or increase. And let's just go with that. So with this one here, we are trying to find the percent increase. So that is going to be our, let's call that percent increase over here, all over 100. And then over here, we're going to see the amount of the increase or the decrease. So we're going from 2011 to 2013. So from here to here. So the increase is 550,000 minus, I would say 200 and maybe 70,000. So let's figure what that is. So 550,000. minus 200, and I think we said 70,000. I'll double check that from 2011. All right, so the amount of decrease is about 280,000. So 280,000 over the original amount. The original amount here was the 2011, so that's going to be over the 270,000. All right, so we cross multiply and divide like we did before. So the price increase is going to be equal to 100 times the 280,000 all over the 270,000. 270,000. Let's take a look what that is here. So going to my calculator, if I do 100 times 280,000, and then we're going to divide that by 270,000. And I get about 103% increase, so somewhere roughly 100% increase. So what that means is that from 2011 to 2013, it almost doubled in total sales. And the next one says, by what percent did it decrease from 2007 to 2011? So we're going to do the exact same thing here. So 2007, we had about 350,000. 2011, we had about 270,000. So you can set that up, but what you're going to get is the 350,000 minus the 270,000. 270,000. So here is the amount decrease, 80,000, and we're going to divide that by the original amount, which was the 350,000, and multiply that by 100, and we're going to get around 22-23% on that one. So somewhere between there. Remember, these aren't exact because we don't know the exact values of these bars here. All right, let's go ahead and remember, I basically used this same process here, but you can also just take the difference, divide by the original amount, like I did here, and then you're going to end up multiplying by 100. All right, so let's take a look at another example. All right, so next we're going to take a look at a line graph. And a line graph is very similar to the bar graph. We usually put the years or the time on the bottom here. We put the other variable on the left here, and instead of doing bars, we're going to, where the top of the bar would be, we're going to put a dot there, and then we're going to end up connecting all of the dots with a line, and that way we can easily see trends going up and trends going down. And here we have two different variables. The black is the existing home sales and the blue is the inventory, so we can also compare those two lines with each other. Alright, so the first one here says, in what year did the biggest drop in home sales occur? By approximately how many units did the sales drop? Alright, so if we look up here, it looks like from maybe here to here or here to here or there to there. So somewhere along here we have a pretty significant drop. So 2008 would be a pretty good answer for this, and it looks like it dropped. It went from around, let's say this is 5,000 and this is 6,000, so this is a little bit over 5,500, so maybe it dropped around from 5,500 or, well, actually like 5,600, so let's use our calculator here. So it looks like we dropped around 5,600 to, and then this is just under 5,000. So maybe I'll just put 5,000 in there for now. And let's see what we got there. So just a moment here. Now remember, this is in the thousands. So what we're going to have to do is add 3 more zeros to that. And the book is saying here that it dropped about 800,000. It's really hard to tell with these values here, but somewhere if you add, so here you subtract those, now it's in the thousands, so you have to add 3 more zeros, so it's 0, 0, 0. So it dropped around 600,000. The book has 800,000, and it really depends on how you read these values. I guess this one could be closer to 5,700, and this one could be closer to 4,900, and that would give you the 800,000 in existing home drops from 2007 to 2008. So let's take a look at the next one. It says identify at least 2 years when the number of sales and the inventory both increased. So I'm looking for at least 2 years where these both increased. So it looks like in 2003, you can see that it increased, the inventory increased and the home sales increased. 2002, it looks like they both increased because it increased here and increased there. 2001, also, you barely increased there, but it also increased here. And there's a few different years. So go through those and see if you can find some more. It looks like in 2005, they both increased. So definitely take a look at that. All right, in what year were home sales at their lowest level? In what year were home sales at their highest level? So these are home sales. So lowest level is right around here, which is about the same as this one. So that's probably, take a quick look here. So it's either 1996 or, I think this is a good answer too, 2010. Those would be the years that are at the lowest. And then the highest here would be right at 2005. You see this is the highest level for home sales there. All right. And based on your answer to part C, how many more units were sold in the highest selling year than the lowest selling year? So let's bring out our calculator. Don't forget this is in the thousands, so that means we have to basically multiply by 1,000 or add 3 zeros to that. So the highest is right around 7,000. Now minus the lowest was right around, I would say 4,100, just above 4,000. And then multiply that by 1,000 or add 3 zeros. And I get about 290,000, but the book has something different. So let me see what I did. 7,000 to 4,000. Definitely think the book is wrong on this one here. So I get somewhere around 3 million here, and they had about 4 million. So I think that's an error there, but we'll take a look in there. All right, the next one here says, by approximately what percent did the inventory increase between 2004 and 2007? So 2004 and inventory. So that's right around, I would say 21 or 2,200. We'll call that 2,200. All right, and then that's 2004. 2007 is right at 4,000. So 4,000, remember, minus, we'll say 2,200 for that one. And then we are going to divide by the original amount, which is 2,200. And then we're going to multiply by 100. So I got around 82% for that one, and that's what the book has too. And we can also use the formula that we did for the last one there. Next one says, by approximately what percent did home sales drop between 2005 and 2010? So here's 2005, that's right at 7,000. 2010 is maybe about 4,100. So let's do that. So we're going to do 7,000 minus 4,100. All right, and then we're going to divide by the original amount, the 7,000. And then we're going to convert that to a percentage. So I've got around 41% for that, and that also agrees with the book there. Okay, the last thing I want to do is just take a look at a circle graph, or a pie chart, sometimes called. All right, so here is a pie chart, and what they do is they basically use proportions of the circle to correlate or correspond with the some type of variable here. And all of it added together is 100%. So this is when we're using percentages. So which category represents the largest expenditure? We just look for the largest value here. That would definitely be tuition, which is 38%. Which category represents the smallest expenditure? And that would be the 8% here, which is lab fees. It says if a student spent a total of $2,500, that means for everything, how much of this went towards tools and lab fees combined? All right, so here's tools, there's lab fees. So 26 plus 8 is 34%. So that means you spent 34% of the $2,500 on tools and lab fees. So in order to get that, all we have to do is multiply that $2,500 by the 34%, or 0.34. And so about $850 went towards those two expenditures there. That's how you do that one. And then this one says if a student spent $300 on materials, how much would she spend on books and lab manuals? All right, so go ahead and pause the video, try that one, see how far you can get, and then unpause and we'll go through the solution. All right, so for this one, one thing we can do is we can set up a proportion, and we know that $300 out of the total, this is the whole, so we'll call that the T for total, is equal to, and remember, this is materials. So materials is 10%. So that would be 10 over 100. So we set up a proportion here in order to find out the total that the student spent. And if you, so 10T, if you cross multiply over 3,000, like this, 30,000, excuse me, and hold on, sorry. We divide by 10, we're going to get T is equal to $3,000, which means that if they spent $300 on materials, they did a total expenditure of $3,000. Now to find out how much they spent on books and lab manuals, you would just multiply the 3,000 by 18%. So 3,000 times 0.18. You get $540. So that would mean that students spent $540 on books and lab manuals. All right, guys, please let me know if you have any questions. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much.